Hey guys, it's Patrick here. Now welcome back to another video on the channel where today it's that time of the week. Once again, it is time for another edition of Paddy's Footy Tips. This week in the NRL, it is another Origin effective round, meaning all the big names are off the Origin camp. There are Origin camp, less games, maybe even a few upsets on the way. But last week in my tips, I did get 7 out of 8. This is probably the third or fourth time this year where I come short on the last hurdle and only get 7 out of 8. So hopefully this week, with the less amount of games, hopefully we can go for the full card. But anyway, guys, if any of you guys are new around here, please smash the like button. Subscribe if any of you guys are new around here, and turn on post notifications as well, guys. That way, you guys will not be able to miss out on any new videos. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get in and get straight into the video. Okay, the first game of the round on Thursday night, we have the Rabbitohs taking on against the Broncos at Accor Stadium in Sydney. Like I said before, it's an Origin effective round, so both teams, all their big stars are out this week. So no Reece Walsh, Katoni Staggs, no Panas for the Broncos. Souths, all their big players are all missing still. So I reckon this game is going to be very interesting. I reckon now Souths, they do have a lot of injuries right now, and obviously the injury toll, they just can't get a break. However, this week for the Rabbitohs and the Broncos, they are celebrating the career of Jai Arrow, who has recently been diagnosed with MMD, which is an absolute killer of a disease. So I wish Jai Arrow all the best in the future for his fight ahead. So the Rabbitohs, they have made a special jersey for him that they're going to be wearing on the night for him. So a big shout to Souths. And the Broncos, they're also doing something as well for him because he used to play for the Broncos. So that's why, look, I think Souths are going to be too strong here. The Broncos, they just haven't been performing recently, the Broncos, and they letting me down last week. So I reckon the Souths, I reckon the Rabbitohs are going to be too strong here. I'm going Souths to win this game 1-12. On Friday night, we have the Redcliffe Dolphins taking on against my boys, the Sydney Roosters, up at Suncorp Stadium, up at Suncorp. Look, this game will also be very interesting as well. Obviously, both sides are missing players because of Origin. The Roosters, we're missing about half our team, basically. Redcliffe, they're only missing a couple. So I reckon this game is going to be very interesting. When I was looking at the squads, I do think the Roosters team does have better forwards, in my opinion, when I look at that team. But the Finns, they do have a better back line. So I don't know. This game can go either way. This one, I'm not too confident this week. I'm tempting to tip against my own club. I feel like in games like these, this is a game where I don't expect us to win. I do think the Finns can win this game. I mean, they probably should win, in my opinion. But look, you got to show faith in your club. Even though I don't think the Roosters are going to win, I reckon the Roosters are going to try. I'm going Chooks to win this game 1-12. Okay, 2 games on Saturday night. The first game on Saturday, we have the Warriors versus the Sharks across the ditch in New Zealand. Big game here for both teams. The Warriors, they're coming fresh off a bye. They are missing some of their best players for Origin. The Sharks, big win against the Dragons last week. And they are missing players for Origin as well. So, like I said, I think every game this week is pretty much even. So, this game can go either way for me. I do think the Sharks, they did struggle to beat the Dragons last week, especially in that first half. Last week, which is a bit of a worry for them. So, but look, it's in New Zealand. The Warriors, I think they're going to be too good for the Sharks. I'm going the Warriors to win this game 13+. And then the last game of the night, we have the Eels taking on against the Raiders at CommBank. This game is probably a must-win game for both teams, in my opinion. The Eels, they aren't really missing anyone apart from Moses. And they are coming off the loss against the Bulldogs on King's birthday, a game that they actually competed really well in. The Raiders, they're missing Ethan Strange and Hudson Young for Origin, and last week, even they played the Roosters, my team, and even I was a bit shocked on how they played. Like, that defense was just awful, and the Raiders, they need to begin winning games soon, otherwise questions are going to be getting asked around that team. So, look, the Eels, they played very well last week. I think they get the job done over the Raiders. I'm going Eels to win this game 1-12. And finally, the last game of the round, we have the Tigers taking on against the Titans at Leichhardt Oval, the 8th wonder of the world, to finish off the round. Big game for both teams here. The Tigers, they got embarrassed by the Panthers, losing 68-0, which is probably the highest scoring margin so far this year, and probably the highest scoring margin in a while, actually. So the Tigers, they really want to make a huge statement at home if they want to get the win this week. The Titans, some say that they might come in for a surprise upset. We don't know. They're missing Tino this week and Jojo Fafita for Origin. So, we don't know how that's going to go. It's at the 8th wonder of the world. It's at Leichhardt. The Tigers fans, they always rally behind their team no matter what. Every time they play at Leichhardt, they always show up and they always get the job done. And in that case, I think they're going to do it again. I think the Tigers are going to bounce back and win this game 13+ against the Titans. So, there you have it, guys. Those were Paddy's footy tips for this week. Another exciting round of footy. Only 5 games this week due to Origin period. We'll see what happens. Maybe a few surprises might occur. But anyway, guys, thank you guys all so much for watching today's video. If any of you guys are new around here, please smash that like button. Subscribe if any of you guys are new around here. And turn on post notifications as well, guys. That way, you guys will not be able to miss out on any new videos. But anyway, guys, thank you guys all so much for watching. And until next time, see you guys later. Bye.